Page 14, the Palace Gardens. Well, let's go through the process of learning a piece of music and see what we get. I look it over, I see it's about a page of music. Now it's longer than one page, but as far as learning the music goes, it's a page of music to learn. 4 lines. Not saying 4 lines is a page, but in the way this book is printed, it turns out to be 4 lines to a page in most of these. The clef signs are still treble and bass clef. The key signature is 2 sharp, so this is in the key of D major, so make sure you can do the scale for D major and B minor, because that scale also has 2 sharps in the key signature. And 2/4 time again. We have a few 16th notes, 1 E-enda, 2 E-enda. Take it one hand at a time, make sure we have that worked out. I'm going to connect everything as best I can at first. So we're starting out here, 3rd finger, that puts us here. It's 1 E-enda, 1 E-enda, 2 E-enda, 1 and 2 E-enda, 1. Okay? No problem, I hope. Let's go down to the 3rd line. 1. Let's go down to the last 2 measures. It's 1, and they want you to cross over. I don't like doing a 1-2-1. Sometimes we have to, and in this case it works out okay. So we'll just go ahead and use the fingering there. So it's the last 3 notes there. It's 1 to cross over, 2. The reason is because we got to go back to the beginning after that, and we need to be able to reach that 3rd finger on the F sharp. So we're going to use thumb there. Otherwise, I would have done a 3-2 here, not a 2-1. But I need to, we have to think about what's coming and prepare for it. Left hand was not doing much. You're here. 1, 2. There's not a lot going on in the left hand. Then the 2nd line, you're here. The 3rd line, you come down here. I'd like to prepare for that. You don't have to. I mean, you could easily lift up. I like to get you into the idea of preparing the fingering for what's coming. You don't have to stay in a 5-finger position. That doesn't prepare for what's coming. So into the 2nd line, rather than this, I want to change that to this. I want to use 2-4 here. So I'm just changing that. This is just another fingering for that chord. This way my little finger's ready. So in the last 2 measures of the 2nd line, you're here, and then just come down here, 2-4. This way my little finger's ready to go on. If you don't want to be up in here in the 3rd line, you can use 2nd finger on the F sharp. I don't know how big your hands are. 2. I mean, if you don't want to be up in here and you're using that, then when you get to the end of the line on these, you run out of fingers. So you'd have to do a 2-1, 2-1, 3. We just switched these fingers around is all we did. If you're using 2nd finger on the black key. I'll leave that between you and your teacher. Then once I have an idea what the hands are doing, then I'll put them together. And sometimes when I put the hands together and it starts working out, I find I have to change the fingering a little bit. That's okay. We're not locked in yet. So we're still working on this. And I'm connecting everything. Okay, the 2nd line, last measure, you're here. Going on, you're here. Now at the end of the last line there at the bottom, last 2 measures. Now the DC all fine, remember that? DC means go back to the beginning, and all fine means go to fine. And the fine is at the end of the 2nd line. That's where the thin and thick bar line is. That's the symbol for end of a piece. The point is, when I get done with that last measure, I got to go back to the beginning. I'm going from here to here. I'd rather not go from here to here. I'm using 5th finger on both. The problem is, and this happens a lot in music, is you'll fix one thing, but you'll cause another problem in the process. I would love to change this and just use third finger on the beginning going up, because I can do all of that. My problem is then when I get to the eighth notes, I'm out of position. I mean, that's not a big deal, I can do that. I'd rather not. Well, I could also change it where I'm fingering here with the third, I come up with 4, 2. Now I'm in position, but you gotta have good sized hands. If you have little hands, that doesn't work. You can't do that very well. So you may just be stuck with doing that. Use the fifth finger on both. That's okay. We have to. Anyway, once I get the hands working together, then I'll go add the articulation. This left hand, I'm going to connect it. Doesn't say anything, so I could do anything I want, but I'm suggesting just connect it. They do give you slurs over the eighth notes in the left hand. I'm telling you, pretend the whole thing is slurred, or there's a word legato under the bottom staff to tell you just connect it. Or pretend there's the word legato under the bottom staff to just connect it. I'm lifting up in the right hand but not the left. See, I'm connecting this left hand. Don't lift up in one hand just because you had to lift up in the other. I'm going to put in all the staccatos and slurs, and then I'm going to add the dynamics. MF at the beginning is mezzo forte, sort of loud, and that's the melody. We're going to bring out the melody. Whatever you think sort of loud, don't get carried away. And this, soft. You get down to the third line, now it's mezzo piano in P, sort of soft. The left hand is very soft. That's sort of what it is, I guess. Actually, you can experiment a little bit. You can get a little louder and softer. You don't have to play the first 2 lines right at MF and the last 2 lines at MP. You can experiment. Feel it. How do you feel it? Remember the natural accents. And 2/4 times the first beat. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Feel the natural accents. I'm exaggerating them so you can hear them better, but just feel them. Then speed. Well, it's not fastest. It's in the middle, but again, it's not necessarily the speed of the beat. It's the overall feel of the piece. On the last 2 lines, how fast can you go? How fast can you play that accurately? And you can't go any faster than that. That's my moderate for now. Later on it might change because I play by feel. It's however I feel it. You don't have to go that fast. Don't copy me. You get into it. You feel it. Anyway, after you've learned it, at least slowly, and you can play it with no hesitations, and come back to the video and let's play it together very slowly and check that you have all the correct notes and rhythms. I'll give us 2 counts because it's in 2/4 time. We're going to go pretty slow. The 16th notes aren't all that slow, but the rest of it will seem pretty slow. Ready and go and. to the beginning.